Since 1976, it has prowled the skies, a silent predator with a thunderous roar. It has flown into countless engagements, faced down the best its adversaries could offer, and emerged undefeated. We are talking about the McDonnell Douglas now Boeing F-15 Eagle. In an era of stealth, drones, and advanced fifth-generation fighters, why does this Cold War relic still inspire fear? Why is it still being built, upgraded, and deployed globally? For nearly 5 decades, the F-15 has maintained a combat record that no other jet in history can touch: 104 wins, 0 losses. It's not just an air superiority fighter, it's a legacy. You think you know air combat? Think again. Stay with Airborne Atlas as we dive deep into the engineering, the history, and the sheer, brutal dominance of the F-15 Eagle, the jet that wrote the rulebook on air superiority, and still refuses to put it down. But before we climb to 60,000 feet, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to Airborne Atlas. We're on a mission to map the world's most incredible aviation stories, and you don't want to miss the next flight. To understand the F-15, you must first understand the crisis that led to its creation. In the early 1960s, American air combat doctrine was heavily focused on missiles and BVR beyond visual range engagements. This thinking led to fighters like the F-4 Phantom, which initially didn't even have an internal cannon. The Vietnam War was a brutal awakening. While the F-4 was a superb multi-role jet, it struggled against the smaller, more agile North Vietnamese MiG-17 and MiG-21 fighters in close-quarters dogfights. The U.S. Air Force realized it needed a pure, dedicated air superiority fighter. A jet designed with one, non-negotiable goal: to own the sky. The project began under the mantra, not a pound for air to ground. Every ounce of the F-15 was dedicated to speed, maneuverability, and radar capability. The U.S. Air Force demanded a jet that could fly faster, higher, and turn harder than anything the Soviet Union could dream up. In 1969, McDonnell Douglas now Boeing won the contract. The result was a monumental piece of engineering. They designed the F-15 around 2 massive Pratt & Whitney F-100 turbofan engines, capable of producing more thrust than the aircraft's own weight. This gave the Eagle a thrust-to-weight ratio greater than 1, meaning it could accelerate while flying straight up. The Eagle's design was defined by its enormous, slab-like wings, allowing for high lift and exceptional performance at high altitude. It was built to fight at the edge of the atmosphere, in the domain of strategic bombers and cruise missiles. When the F-15A first flew in 1972, the world of air combat changed forever. A new apex predator had arrived, engineered for absolute dominance. At the heart of the F-15's legendary performance are its 2 engines. These aren't just powerful, they are what allow the Eagle to break the rules of physics. The F-15 can routinely reach speeds exceeding Mach 2.5 more than 2,655 km per hour. Its operational ceiling is staggering, over 65,000 feet, effectively placing it in the realm near space. This combination of speed and altitude allows the Eagle to dictate the terms of any engagement. It can run, or it can fight, always on its own terms. But speed is only half the story. Maneuverability is key. Despite its massive size, it's larger than many believe, the F-15 is surprisingly agile. The large, twin vertical stabilizers provide exceptional control at high angles of attack. This agility, coupled with its immense thrust, makes it a nightmare in a dogfight, where raw energy and high G-turns are crucial. The original F-15 was also the first U.S. fighter to carry the revolutionary APG-63 radar. This powerful system could spot enemy aircraft at incredible ranges, lock on, and guide multiple missiles simultaneously. It allowed the F-15 pilot to see the enemy long before the enemy knew they were there, the critical advantage in any air battle. The cockpit was designed for simplicity and visibility. The famous bubble canopy provides an unparalleled 360-degree view, giving the pilot, the Eagle driver, the situational awareness needed to track multiple threats and maintain control in the chaos of a dogfight. The pilot's ability to seamlessly utilize the raw power and the advanced radar defines the jet's success. As the saying goes, the best air superiority fighter is the one with the best pilot. But the F-15 gives that pilot the tools to be truly unbeatable, combining speed, sight, and pure thrust in a lethal package. This is the core of the F-15 legend, the combat record. The F-15 Eagle has never been shot down by an enemy aircraft in combat. Its kill ratio stands at an astronomical 104-0. This is not a mere statistic, it is a testament to perfect design and execution that spans 5 decades and multiple conflicts. The Eagle's legend was forged in the skies over the Middle East. Israel was the first nation outside the U.S. to receive the jet-designated F-15 BAZ, and they immediately put it to use. In the early 1980s, Israeli F-15s flew into battle against Syrian MiGs, racking up dozens of kills. The results were immediate and one-sided, cementing the F-15's reputation as a true MiG killer. The jet's deadliest performance, however, came during the 1991 Gulf War Operation Desert Storm. U.S. Air Force F-15 Sea Eagles dominated the airspace over Iraq with absolute impunity. They encountered the best of the Iraqi Air Force, including advanced MiG-29s and French-made Mirage F-1s. In the ensuing air campaign, F-15Cs accounted for a staggering 36 of the 39 fixed-wing aircraft kills, a stunning 92% of the air-to-air victories. Pilots described the engagements as a systematic process of detection and destruction. The F-15's superior radar and range allowed them to fire their AIM-7 Sparrow and AIM-9 Sidewinder missiles from beyond the reach of their Iraqi counterparts, showcasing the undeniable advantage of superior technology and pilot training. One famous incident perfectly illustrates the Eagle's unbelievable resilience. In 1983, during a training exercise, an Israeli F-15 collided with an A-4 Skyhawk. The collision didn't just damage the jet, it violently ripped off the Eagle's entire right wing. Despite this catastrophic, potentially terminal damage, the pilot, Zivi Nedavi, was ordered to bail out. Instead, he relied on the enormous lift generated by the Eagle's powerful fuselage, the two mighty engines, and the sheer momentum of the jet. He managed to fly the nearly wingless plane for over 10 minutes and execute a successful landing, saving the $30 million aircraft, and the wing's debris was later found miles away. This demonstrated an unbelievable margin of safety and power, a hidden aspect of the F-15's engineering genius that gives its pilots unparalleled confidence in combat. The F-15's combat history is not a stroke of luck, it's a consistent pattern of dominance. It is the gold standard by which all other air superiority fighters are still measured, and none have yet surpassed it. As brilliant as the pure air-to-air F-15C was, the U.S. Air Force realized the aircraft had even greater multi-role potential. In the 1980s, the design evolved into the F-15E Strike Eagle. This wasn't just a modification, it was a revolution that redefined the concept of an attack aircraft. The Strike Eagle introduced a second crew member, the Weapons Systems Officer WSO, sitting in the back seat to manage the complex navigation and targeting systems. Crucially, it added two distinctive conformal fuel tanks CFDs that hugged the fuselage. These changes allowed the jet to carry an incredible payload of precision-guided munitions, turning the pure air superiority fighter into a devastating, long-range interdictor, a fighter-bomber on steroids. The Strike Eagle can carry up to an astounding 23,000 pounds of ordnance, fly in any weather, day or night, and strike targets deep behind enemy lines with pinpoint accuracy. It retains the essential speed and maneuverability of its air-to-air predecessor, making it deadly in both the air-to-air and air-to-ground roles, a true two-in-one aircraft. The Strike Eagle proved its worth immediately, first seeing action in Desert Storm, where it single-handedly hunted Scud missile launchers and destroyed critical command and control centers. It has been the absolute backbone of air campaigns across the Middle East for over 3 decades, a testament to its unmatched versatility, durability, and lethality in hostile environments. But the story doesn't end with the Strike Eagle. In an age dominated by fifth-generation stealth fighters like the F-22 and F-35, the U.S. Air Force has doubled down on the F-15. This leads us to the latest, most powerful version, the F-15X Eagle II. The F-15X is a digital marvel, designed for maximum synergy with its stealthier cousins. It has a completely new digital fly-by-wire flight control system, giving it a much longer service life of over 20,000 flight hours and the ability to pull even higher G-forces with greater safety and precision. Crucially, it features the advanced APG-82V1 active electronically scanned array ESA radar, which gives it superior targeting and detection capabilities over older systems, ensuring it can keep pace with modern threats. The most significant feature, however, is its payload and its role. The F-15X boasts an incredible 22 weapons stations, more than any other modern fighter in the world. This allows it to act as a definitive missile truck, carrying enormous quantities of long-range weapons like the AIM-120 AMRAAM, and it is even being adapted to carry future hypersonic missiles that are too large for stealth jets. The operational idea is simple yet brilliant: let the stealth fighters F-22/F-35 kick down the enemy's anti-air defenses, and then let the F-15X fly in and dominate with sheer numbers of weapons, overwhelming the adversary. The F-15 is not just surviving in the 21st century, it is actively evolving to meet the most advanced threats of the future, proving that raw, Overwhelming power and an unbeatable airframe will always have a crucial place in the combat sky. The F-15 Eagle is more than just a successful warplane, it is a defining symbol of aviation engineering genius and military capability. From its initial role as a pure air superiority fighter in the Cold War to its current manifestation as the digitally advanced, heavy payload F-15X Eagle II, its legacy is set in stone. The 104-0 combat record is a feat that may never be surpassed, a testament to a commitment to the highest possible standards of performance and engineering. The Eagle was born in crisis, forged in battle, and remains, to this day, the undisputed king of the skies. It doesn't use stealth, it uses speed, power, and overwhelming firepower to dictate, engage, and dominate. Now, we want to hear from you. Which version of the F-15 is your favorite, the classic C model, the ground-pounding Strike Eagle, or the futuristic Eagle II? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the legend of the F-15 Eagle, please do two things for Airborne Atlas: smash that like button. It helps us reach more aviation enthusiasts like you. And subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next video where we break down the F-22 Raptor, the only jet designed specifically to replace the mighty Eagle. Thank you for flying with Airborne Atlas. Until next time, keep your eyes on the skies.